Are the disembodied screams of terrified teenagers? Is it the dreaded Ghost Realm assessment? Or just finals week? The palpable tension suggests we're about to find out, and it's probably not multiple choice. And we have our first contestant for most graphic pre-test horror story. While one student details the gruesome specifics of a ghost-induced, and our green-haired friend here seems less than thrilled to be on the receiving end. The voice of reason. A teacher attempts to quell the rising panic by reminding everyone of their ghost-handling curriculum. Apparently, spectral combat is a required credit here, which certainly explains the high-strung student body. But her words are lost on at least one student. Here we meet our protagonist, Lin M.O., waking from a peaceful slumber, not with a start, but with a triumphant cry of virtual victory. A true hero for our times. His classmates witnessing this outburst mistake his gaming addiction for raw courage. It's a classic case of misinterpretation. To them, he's not grinding levels. He's mentally preparing for war. Bless their innocent hearts. And just like that, Lin M.O. is unceremoniously yanked from his digital glory into a new, far more confusing reality. The transition from virtual champion to bewildered swearing victim of teleportation is, shall we say, a bit jarring. The disorienting journey seems to be taking its toll on another poor soul who is currently experiencing what appears to be a world-ending migraine. This is probably not the scenic route to the Ghost Realm assessment. While this certainly looks like the advertised Ghost Realm, with its charmingly dilapidated architecture and a local resident who seems to have skipped a few meals, it's clear this assessment is graded on a pass/fail/get-devoured basis. We now interrupt our regularly scheduled haunting for a lovely view of Earth from space. Is this a dramatic tone shift, or is our protagonist's high school exam about to have global repercussions? My money's on the latter. And we're back to the action. It seems our hero is experiencing the classic anime power-up sequence complete with glowing runes and swirling energy. He must have hit a new level. Let's hope he unlocks some useful skills. Okay, that's not just a new skill. That's a whole new character class. With glowing eyes and a tentacle arm straight out of a cosmic horror story, our protagonist looks ready to take on whatever this realm throws at him. And so the epic clash begins. Our newly transformed hero unleashes a devastating attack, meeting a shadowy foe head-on. This isn't your grandma's chess match. This is full-blown spectral combat, and somebody's about to get exorcised. Hold on, plot twist. The top panel shows an epic battle, but the real drama is in the close-up. Lin Mo's eyes are wide with shock. What just happened? Did his new powers come with a terrible, unforeseen side effect? And just like that, we're back in a classroom. It seems that harrowing, world-altering battle was just a daydream. Stressed out by his own imagination, Lin M.O. turns to the only coping mechanism he knows: more video games. Unfortunately for our hero, the teacher has other plans, putting him on the spot with a question about theoretical knowledge. Let's hope his ghost-slaying daydreams somehow count as studying. It's time for a real-world boss battle. Public speaking. Wait a minute, it wasn't a daydream. Lin M.O. is now face-to-interface with a breakthrough system complete with quests and point systems. His first mission, break the teacher's defense. This is way more interesting than pop quizzes. The system's implications hit Lin M.O. like a ton of bricks. He recalls that in this world, people awaken a contract life at 15, a power that is normally fixed. His mind is officially blown by this game-changing revelation. In this world, the ability to contract ghosts is not for everyone. As these hard-working gentlemen demonstrate, ordinary people have their limits, and wrangling the undead is strictly off the menu. A supernatural glass ceiling, if you will. Even among the gifted, there's a pecking order. The number of ghosts one can contract is strictly limited, creating a clear hierarchy. It's like a spooky supernatural credit score, and most people have a pretty low limit. But for Lin M.O., the rules no longer apply. The system has given him a cheat code, the ability to infinitely increase his contract limit. Forget the hierarchy. Our boy is about to break the supernatural economy wide open. With this world-shattering power at his fingertips, Lin M.O. immediately turns his attention to the most pressing question. What if the ghosts are attractive? It seems his first mission objective involves some unorthodox methods of breaking the teacher's defense. Forget ghost hunting. Lin Mo's true ambition is to become a paranormal influencer. With the prospect of a hot ghost partner, his mind is already on brand deals and viral dance challenges. A man with his priorities straight. The classroom is buzzing with Lin Mo's audacious career plans. His peers seem to be a mix of amused and genuinely curious about the business potential of ghost-based live streaming. Talk about finding your niche market. At least one classmate is fully on board, proudly proclaiming that his desk mate's hidden talents have finally been revealed. Lin Mo has officially been upgraded from gamer who sleeps in class to certified extraordinary individual. The teacher, thoroughly unimpressed by the sudden interest in paranormal entrepreneurship, tries to get the class back on track. She poses a new, rather shocking hypothetical question to regain control of the room. The fun is officially over. Lin Mo, ever the innovator, has an answer at the ready. With a mischievous grin, he suggests grabbing the electrified entity and using it as, well, he points to his phone. A power bank? Oh, Wi-Fi hotspot. The possibilities are endless. While the teacher processes this groundbreaking, if impractical suggestion, the other students are having an absolute field day. They can barely contain their laughter at Lin Mo's audacious answer, thoroughly enjoying the classroom chaos he's created. Now an adorable chibi, Form Lin Mo clarifies his criteria for engaging with a female ghost. It all comes down to two very important factors: her appearance and, of course, her consent. A true gentleman of the spectral plane. And just like that, the hypothetical becomes terrifyingly real. A quick cutaway shows Lin Mo apparently applying his theory much to the horror of a rather traditional-looking ghost. This is either a fantastic visual gag or a deeply concerning escalation. Meanwhile, back in reality, the class erupts in laughter. They're chanting and cheering, clearly finding Lin Mo's entire line of questioning to be the peak of comedy. The teacher looks on, probably reconsidering her career choice. Wham! A hand slams down on a desk, bringing the laughter to an abrupt halt. The teacher has clearly had enough of this nonsense. The mood in the room shifts from comedy to you're all in big trouble in a split second. Her patience worn thin, the teacher unleashes her fury, sentencing the class clown to stand as punishment. Her rage is so palpable, she's giving a thumbs up while yelling. That's a level of anger I can only aspire to. And our culprit Lin Mo accepts his fate with a cheerful salute and a grin. He seems completely unfazed by the teacher's fiery wrath. In fact, he looks like he's just accomplished a major goal, which is we're about to see he has. A system notification confirms that teacher's defense has been breached. His ridiculous answers weren't just for fun. They were a calculated strategy to complete his mission. Lin Mo has successfully weaponized absurdity. What a legend. Lin Mo is absolutely ecstatic. It seems provoking his teacher has unlocked a new tier of power, complete with extra contracts and an insane technique. He rightly questions if this is the standard treatment for a fantasy novel protagonist. But as Lin Mo revels in his newfound power, the teacher brings everyone crashing back to reality. She lays down a law about academic achievements, explaining the grading system that determines college admission. It's a stark contrast to his supernatural level-ups. The academic pressure is real. A couple of classmates take the opportunity to remind someone of their grim future, pointing out that their current standing means they won't even qualify for college. A truly harsh dose of scholastic reality. As a class clears out, Lin Mo, ever the obedient student, when it suits him, calmly acknowledges the teacher. He seems to be heading off to his punishment, though he's likely more focused on his new powers than his academic probation. His classmates remain engrossed in their holographic displays, their faces etched with concern. While Lin Mo is off to his supernatural side quest, they're stuck worrying about rankings and scores. The duality of student life, I suppose. It seems Lin Mo's punishment is a choice between 4 equally delightful vacation spots: Horror Hospital, Bewildering Forest, Nightmare Subway, and Blood Red Street. It's like a travel brochure for the apocalypse. Where to first? Some students seem to be plotting a rather unusual study group. Their plan involves contracting a weak ghost to help them get into college. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them. This little fellow isn't pulling any punches, telling his classmate to stop pretending and be grateful he can even make it to college with his current talent. The chibi art style really softens the blow of this brutal reality check. And with a decisive tap, Lin Mo makes his choice. He selected option, which, if you recall, was the Horror Hospital. An excellent choice for anyone looking for a truly miserable and terrifying experience. The fun is just beginning. His classmate does not seem to approve of this choice. In fact, he appears to be having a complete and utter meltdown, his face a mask of pure terror. Someone clearly didn't read the fine print on this assessment. The teacher points his face a mixture of shock and horror as he announces Lin Mo's fateful decision to the class. The students react with a collective gasp. It seems the horror hospital has quite the reputation. Lin Mo, however, seems to be relishing the chaos he's created. With a new eye patch, a glowing red eye, and a mischievous smirk, he looks more than ready for whatever horrors await. This is clearly his element. The world around him begins to warp and shift the classroom, dissolving into a swirling vortex of light and energy. The broken ladder in the foreground is a nice, ominous touch. This is definitely not your standard attention. And just like that, poof, Lin Mo vanishes from the classroom in a flash of light, leaving his teacher and classmates to stare at the empty space where he once stood. Their stunned silence speaks volumes. Welcome to the horror hospital. This imposing building, complete with ominous red lettering and shadowy birds circling overhead, looks like the perfect place for a bit of light haunting. Let the assessment and the scares commence. Lin Mo has arrived at the gates of this rather spooky establishment. The flickering candles lining the path create a wonderfully eerie ambience. The horror hospital is really setting the mood for a night of terror. 5-star spooky service. It seems our hero isn't alone. A group of shadowy figures emerges from the gloom behind him, including a young woman with striking purple hair. Are these fellow students, or just the hospital's very dedicated welcoming committee? Here we meet two of Lin Mo's new companions. The girl with purple pigtails, Lily, looks unimpressed, while the bespectacled boy, Lu Zhe, seems a bit nervous. It's a classic dynamic duo of stoicism and anxiety. And then a severed head with glowing red eyes, hanging upside down, offers a chilling welcome. Meanwhile, a seemingly normal couple in the foreground looks on with a mix of apprehension and, is that excitement? Different strokes, I suppose. The couple's initial unease quickly escalates into full-blown panic. With a terrified scream, the girl clings to the boy as they realize this horror hospital might be more than just a clever name. The novelty has worn off. Lin Mo on the ground now looks up with a determined glint in his eyes. He seems to be questioning how they are here, implying he expected to be alone or perhaps interact with different entities. His plans may have been disrupted. And who do we have here? A spectral figure dressed in traditional attire, with a haunting appearance, ominously begins its introduction. This is clearly the latest challenge our hero must face in this increasingly crowded horror show. Lin Mo stands with his back to us, facing some unseen terror. He's surrounded by the others we've met, the terrified couple Lily and Lu Zhe. It seems they're all in this nightmare together now, for better or worse. The spectral figure with its unsettling grin and theatrical pose clarifies its identity, calling this place the People's Hospital. A rather mundane name for such a terrifying location. I'm guessing the patient care here is subpar. The stakes just got astronomically higher. The entire city is dead and elite ghost warden squads were wiped out here. Someone is furious that their hallowed ground of death is being used as a high school assessment site. Fair enough. Perched atop the menacing gates, our spectral gatekeeper declares that no one from the outside can enter. With the city already a ghost town and backup annihilated, this chilling pronouncement effectively seals their doom. Customer service here is terrible. A chilling smile plays on the lips of this porcelain-faced character who eerily offers a choice that will be considered a pass. With this unnerving proposition, the line between passing and perishing blurs even further. The spectral figure floating ominously above the group makes a startling declaration about being transported back to school. Is this a threat, a twisted promise, or a bizarre form of escape from this horrifying hospital field trip? Suddenly, the motivation becomes clear. Someone mentions a pearl worth tens of millions, revealing that this isn't just about survival. It's a high-stakes treasure hunt in a death trap. At least the prize is decent. The porcelain-faced character with that unsettling grin asks for any more questions. The group's curt response suggests they're either too scared to ask or have accepted their fate. The Q&A session is officially closed. This ominous figure with glowing red glasses and that signature unsettling grin stands before the group. Their wide flowing sleeves and imposing stance suggest they are about to enact some twisted punishment or bizarre ritual. The scene erupts into a chaotic vortex of swirling dark energy and red hues. It looks like our protagonists are being violently sucked into some kind of dimensional rift. This assessment is really ramping up the action. As the chaotic energy subsides, a solitary silhouetted figure stands empowered within a mystical circle surrounded by glowing red characters. It appears they've either mastered the chaotic energy or are about to unleash something even more potent. The group, having presumably survived the vortex, now faces a massive, dark, ominous doorway. The red splatters hint at the lingering danger and the gruesome reality of this place. What lies beyond this terrifying threshold? Luze, looking terrified, lets out a choked gasp. The man behind him, with a stern expression, seems equally concerned. It appears they've encountered something truly horrifying within this hospital. Luze's eyes are wide with fear as he continues to stare into the darkness. The man behind him remains vigilant, his expression a mixture of concern and determination. What terrifying presence has them so rattled? Well, look who's suddenly got his priorities straight. Lin M.O., emerging from the shadows, has a rather cheeky grin. Forget the horrors. He's clearly on the hunt for some pretty nurse sisters. While Lin M.O. is busy scouting for nurses, the rest of the group is focused on the mission. They urge to enter, not wanting some useless guy to snag the ghost they've claimed. Someone's also promising to protect Lily. Our resident charmer Lin M.O. has reappeared, a smarmy grin plastered on his face. He seems to be stepping out of some dark enclosure, perhaps having found exactly what he was looking for. Hopefully it wasn't just empty corridors. Lin M.O. is seen from behind, his gaze fixed on something just out of frame. The environment is grim, with blood splatters on the walls, suggesting a recent violent event. This hospital certainly doesn't hold back on the gore. The group, including Lily and Lu Zhe, stands huddled together, looking down into a vast cavernous space. The dark, fractured environment, illuminated by an eerie teal glow, hints at the dangerous descent awaiting them. Peeking out from the shadows, Lin M.O. has a wide-eyed, slightly panicked expression. He seems to have spotted something that has clearly unsettled him. What fresh horror has he stumbled upon in this dreadful hospital? Lin M.O. is in a hurried stride, looking to his left with a tense expression. A giant, shadowy figure looms over him, its massive hand poised. Is this another terrifying encounter, or is he trying to escape? Someone's voice rings out, tinged with disbelief and fear. The group behind him, including Lily and Lu Zhe, share looks of apprehension, suggesting they might have just witnessed something truly spectral. Lu Zhe's eyes are wide with terror as he screams about the presence of over 50 ghosts. The overwhelming number has clearly sent him into a panic. This is no ordinary hospital. It's a full-blown spectral infestation. Lu Zhe's terror escalates as he screams a frantic warning for everyone to run. His primal scream for escape suggests the spectral horde is no longer lurking but actively hunting. Time to practice some cardio. Chaos erupts as Lu Zhe lets out another terrified scream. This raw terror is amplified by a spectral entity descending from above. The desperate flight from the amassed spirits has clearly taken a terrifying turn. The entire group is now engulfed in a chorus of terrified screams, a visceral reaction to the overwhelming spectral threat. Their faces contorted in pure horror, they are being consumed by the terrifying reality of this hospital. The relentless terror of the hospital has taken its toll. Lu Zhe and the dark-haired girl are now on the ground, their screams echoing the overwhelming fear gripping everyone. It seems they've been overwhelmed by the spectral presence. Amidst the chaos, a new voice cuts through the screams, asking if Lin M.O. has emerged. This mysterious individual seems to be of interest, perhaps a key player in this nightmare scenario. Let's hope Lin M.O. isn't just another victim. Well, that's just lovely. Someone's advocating for a rather gruesome fate for Lin M.O., declaring he deserves to be torn apart. The shock on the faces of the onlookers suggests this sentiment is as brutal as it is chilling. The same cruel sentiment from the previous scene is now punctuated by maniacal laughter. The onlookers' expressions of shock are now mixed with a touch of bewilderment. Is this a sign of madness, or perhaps a darkly comedic release? Suddenly, a desperate cry for Lin M.O. echoes through the hospital. This call, directed towards the upper levels, implies he is somewhere inaccessible or in peril. It seems our protagonist is now the focus of this increasingly chaotic situation. The mystery man from the laughter scene reveals himself. With a deranged grin, he seems utterly delighted by the unfolding pandemonium. Is he the mastermind behind this haunt, or just an opportunist enjoying the show? This cartoonish group, with their eerie blank stares, seems to be confronting Lin M.O. Their question suggests a suspicion that he is hoarding the supernatural bounty. This hospital certainly breeds a peculiar kind of greed. The smirk returns this time from a close-up profile view. This character exudes an air of cunning and perhaps manipulation. Whatever is happening, it's clear there are players with their own agendas at work. Lily enters the fray with a dramatic flair. With a condescending smirk, she declares Lin Mo a coward. Lu Zhe behind her looks utterly terrified, perhaps realizing the gravity of this situation. Lily's insult escalates. With a pointed finger and a sneer, she dismisses Lin Mo's attempts at intimidation. Her disdain is palpable, suggesting his efforts are falling flat in this terrifying hospital. Well, isn't this a peculiar turn? Lily, despite her earlier venom, is now surrounded by floating hearts and joined by a beaming man and a giggling girl. Her expression remains stern, but the context of her statement is confusing. With a casual, almost dismissive air, Lily decides to start exploring on her own. She turns away, leaving the others behind, suggesting a solitary and perhaps reckless approach to the dangers of this hospital. Back to our main attraction, Lin Mo muses about his plan. His calm demeanor and predatory grin suggest he sees the terrified students not as victims, but as opportunities for personal gain. This is getting darker by the minute. Lin Mo's predatory grin widens as he revels in the chaos of this hospital. With a triumphant shout, he seems to be either summoning them or relishing their power. This is clearly not a typical student outing. The focus shifts to Lin Mo's feet as he prepares to move. The determined stance, illuminated by eerie green light, suggests he's about to launch into action. Whatever he's planning, it's clear he's not just observing. A sudden exclamation mark appears above Lin Mo's head, and his expression shifts from smugness to surprise, perhaps even alarm. It seems something unexpected has just occurred, interrupting his predatory plans. What could have caught him off guard? The scene cuts to Lin Mo facing a hallway as the others catch up and shout for him to stop. Lily is looking at him with suspicion while the others seem wary. Is Lin Mo up to something they don't approve of? Lily takes charge, yelling for everyone to move aside quickly. She pushes past Lin Mo, who looks back with a surprised expression. It seems she has her own agenda, and Lin Mo is just an obstacle. The classic villainous smirk. With his eyes hidden, that subtle curve of Lin Mo's lips speaks volumes. He seems to be thoroughly enjoying the chaos, perhaps reveling in the very fear he's helped create. In a startling display of newfound bravado, Lu Zhe, previously terrified, now sports a manic grin. He eagerly ushers the group forward, his sudden shift from panic to gung-ho enthusiasm being more than a little unsettling. His unsettling grin remains as he produces a small, ornate key, pointing it directly at Lin Mo's shadowy figure. It seems his newfound courage comes with an accessory, and this is definitely not friendly banter anymore. Suddenly, a disembodied red eye peers ominously from the darkness. This peculiar development throws Lily for a loop as she questions what she's seeing. Is this a new threat or a consequence of Lin Mo's scheming? The hospital just leveled up its scare factor. Everyone's screaming in terror. Lu Zhe, Lily, and even the man with green hair. Lin Mo, however, looks on with detached concern, witnessing this collective panic with an unnerving calm. The crimson glow intensifies as Lily, Lu Zhe, and the man with green hair are seemingly paralyzed by fear. The ominous red light above them casts a sinister shadow, and their pained grunts suggest something terrifying is imminent. Lin Mo's usual composure seems to be cracking. His eyes are wide with a mix of fear and disbelief, sweat beading on his forehead. Whatever he's seeing, it's clearly unsettling him, breaking through his carefully constructed cool. But just as quickly, his expression shifts back to that unnerving smirk. He's watching the group cower, and the gleam in his eye suggests he's either enjoying their fear or anticipating something even worse. A true opportunist. Lin Mo peeks out from behind a doorway, his expression a mixture of apprehension and intense focus. Sweat drips down his temple, and his gaze is sharp, suggesting he's just witnessed something truly alarming. Has his smirk finally been replaced by genuine fear? Lu Zhe is in distress, being held by Lily, who looks equally panicked. Her grip is tight, and he emits a pained cry. Whatever is happening, it's got them both genuinely terrified and in a rather compromising position. The scene focuses on a pair of legs clad in white stockings, seemingly struggling. The desperate sound filling the air suggests a frantic attempt to move or escape. The shadows and eerie green light create a palpable sense of unease. Lily is in agony. Her eyes are squeezed shut, tears streaming down her face as she coughs up a disturbing amount of dark, viscous liquid. This is definitely not a good look, and her suffering is palpable. Liu Zhe is now looking utterly panicked, shouting as he witnesses Lily's distress. He's reaching out, his expression contorted with fear and concern. This situation is escalating rapidly, and no one seems to be having a good time. With wide, fear-filled eyes, Lily explains her harrowing escape. She reveals that biting her own tongue was the key to breaking free from a ghost illusion. This detail adds a grim and frankly metal layer to her survival. Liu Zhe's eyes widen in shock and confusion as he reacts to Lily's statement. The implications of her escape method are clearly dawning on him, his hand instinctively going to his own mouth. He does not seem keen on that solution. The man with red hair and Liu Zhe are truly terrified, groveling and crying out in desperation. Their plea underscores the oppressive and horrifying nature of their current predicament. Morale is, shall we say, at an all-time low. Liu Zhe, looking utterly distressed, confronts Lin Mo with a desperate question, his eyes wide with fear and accusation. Lin Mo remains impassive, a dark, silent figure to the left, seemingly unbothered by the accusation or the surrounding terror. Lin Mo, still wearing his signature eye patch, looks up with a strange expression, muttering for them to get up. His gaze seems distant, as if he's reacting to something unseen. Is he giving an order, or is this a premonition? Lin Mo, ever the sardonic one, seems to be taunting Liu Zhe. While the others cower, he implies that the boy's incompetence would have led to his demise if he'd gone in first. The tension is thick with condescension. Liu Zhe, having been called a low achiever, defiantly retorts with a boast. His bravado is palpable, but given his earlier terror, it feels more like a desperate attempt to save face. We'll see, kid. The group is clearly in panic. The man with green hair is furious, his fist clenched, shouting at someone out of frame. Liu Zhe and Lily are also in distress, their expressions filled with fear and desperation. Well, look at this. In the midst of all the mayhem, our host has apparently earned 30 breakthrough points. Is this some kind of twisted reward system? Or is the universe just being deeply ironic? In this chaotic scene, the characters are clearly in distress and disagreement. Lily wants out, Liu Zhe offers help, and someone calls out Lin Mo as a scoundrel. They need to escape this nightmare and each other pronto. Another student, looking quite determined, analyzes the situation. Based on Liu Zhe's reaction, he believes that avoiding eye contact with the eyeball is the key to resisting the illusion. A plan is forming, and it hinges on one crucial detail. Lin Mo, with his distinctive eye patch, has a triumphant smirk. He's found something touching a surface that might be a door or a hidden mechanism. What has he unearthed in this dreadful hospital? What's happening now? The image is awash in red with blurred streaks, suggesting rapid movement or an intense energy discharge. The repeated sounds could indicate exertion, wind, or a ghostly presence. Something intense is definitely going down. The disorienting terror continues. A swirling vortex of red energy dominates the scene, with a single large eyeball at its center. The repeated sounds amplify the unsettling atmosphere as the protagonist likely tries to resist the illusion. The hospital is throwing everything at them. Someone shouts for their companion to target the ceiling fan, while the surrounding area is filled with a swirling vortex and continuous rushing sounds. This is one intense illusion, folks. Lin Mo, back turned to us, is clearly issuing a desperate command to turn it off. The intense red lighting and the focused intensity of his posture suggest he's trying to end this illusion for good. Hold the phone. It seems the host has bagged another 20 breakthrough points. I guess tormenting these poor souls is quite rewarding. Makes you wonder what they're even accumulating these points for in the first place. Oh, the plot thickens. Our protagonist, looking utterly gleeful with his successful penetration of the ghost's defenses, seems to be turning the tables. But his sinister grin is cut short by a new ominous threat from an unseen party. Whoa, what is that? A terrifying multi-tentacled entity with a gaping maw filled with jagged teeth erupts with a rainbow-colored blast. This is beyond your typical hospital horror. It's a full-blown monster fight. While the hospital might be a nightmare, but the host is raking in the points. Defenses are broken, and a direct contract signing is imminent. What fresh hell is this? At least there's a progress bar. Back in the hospital, the ceiling fan has become a grotesque, demonic entity with glowing red eyes. The protagonist, seen from behind and clearly distressed, can only stare up in horror. This is definitely not your average ceiling fan. Lin Mo stands calmly, arms crossed, as a chaotic red energy blast engulfs a door. It looks like he's finally decided to confront the source of the chaos. Time to see what's behind that door. The hospital unveils a truly terrifying creature. With a singular massive red eye, razor-sharp teeth, and flailing tentacles, this thing is pure nightmare fuel. Its claim of not being scared is either incredibly brave or incredibly foolish. In this twist, our protagonist reveals a chilling tactic. With a smug smile, he threatens to drag things out if the contract isn't agreed upon. Meanwhile, a holographic display shows his progress is stuck. This is getting complicated. The protagonist is facing a terrifying multi-eyed ceiling fan entity. After some tense negotiation, it seems a deal is struck conditioned on turning off the fan first. But can they trust this monstrous appliance? In this tense moment, a hand reaches out to touch a door, likely trying to appease the demonic ceiling fan by turning it off. What awaits them on the other side? Probably nothing good if we're being honest. The hospital continues its reign of terror. Lin Mo looking rather nonchalant gestures toward a switch. Meanwhile, a monstrous eye-like entity with tentacles looms large, crying out in pain or surprise. What exactly did our protagonist do? In this chilling scene, the monstrous entity, still reeling, issues a bizarre command for eye drops. Our protagonist, a small figure in the distance, seems to be complying. This is getting weirder by the panel. Lin Mo is seen from behind approaching a closed door. The ominous red lighting and shadows suggest danger lurks beyond. He's heading into the unknown with a monster's plea for eye drops still hanging in the air. Our intrepid hero is making a move. A close-up shows a hand reaching out to open a cabinet. He's really going for those eye drops. Let's hope this doesn't unleash something even worse than an angry one-eyed monster. In the latest twist, Lin Mo gives a decidedly sinister grin. Above him, a small demonic eyeball creature hovers, declaring its allegiance. Is he forming an alliance with this creepy eye? The situation remains cryptic and tense. The drama escalates. Our protagonist, now holding a bottle and a dropper, is urged to quickly use the eye drops to sign a contract. Meanwhile, a cryptic message states a 502 label has been turned off. What does it mean? The hospital continues its bizarre trajectory. The monstrous eyeball creature, now apparently treated gleefully, offers its thanks. It seems the eye drops did the trick, but what fresh chaos will this now happy monster bring? The monstrous eyeball creature, having received its eye drops, is shown mid-action. A single drop falls from its tentacle. Is this a sign of relief or something more sinister brewing? Only time will tell. Well, the hospital just got a lot more amusing. Our favorite eyeball monster lets out a surprised shriek. Did the eye drops work too well, or did something unexpected happen? This is going to be good. It seems the eye drops might have had a rather unpleasant side effect for Lin Mo. He's struggling, crying out that he can't open his eyes. This plot twist is darker than a doctor's bedside manner. The hospital delivers a terrifying moment. Lin Mo is shown recoiling in fear as a monstrous red-tinged creature lunges at him, its maw wide open, letting out a blood-curdling scream. Looks like the eye drops weren't the only surprise. This massive, terrifying creature, dripping with gore, reveals its horrific true form. With a pounding heartbeat, it moans ominously. What could this abomination possibly want from our protagonist? It's probably not a friendly chat. Back to our hero. After that terrifying encounter, he's now radiating intense blue energy and firmly demanding someone to sign it. It seems Lin Mo isn't just a victim. He's got some serious power-ups. This is definitely not your average hospital stay. Hold up. Someone's asking if Miss Blood-Eye Ghost will entrust her life to Lin Mo. But wait, the ghost retorts that it's a guy. A surprise gender reveal in a monster's mouth? This show is full of surprises. The plot thickens. Our protagonist, caught in the middle of a monstrous spat, is clearly not happy. He exclaims his confusion and frustration as it seems he's been roped into something he never consented to. Classic supernatural bureaucracy. The hospital just hit a major plot point. A glowing blue display announces contract signing completed. Ghost fusion begins. This sounds like a one-way ticket to more trouble. What happens when this fusion takes place? The hospital is now a battlefield of cosmic proportions. Lin Mo looks up as a massive, swirling vortex of red energy. Clearly, the ghost fusion unleashes a powerful blast above him. This is getting intense. The ghost fusion is in full effect, and our protagonist is right in the thick of it. Surrounded by swirling red energy, he appears to be undergoing some kind of transformation. What is happening to him? The hospital saga reaches a chilling climax. A close-up reveals the protagonist's eye now glowing red and surrounded by crimson energy as a triumphant chime sounds. The display flashes fusion complete. Is this our hero, or has something else taken over? After the chaotic ghost fusion, we find our protagonist in a moment of quiet contemplation. Standing before a mirror, he seems to be assessing himself. The red glow has gone replaced by a somber, reflective atmosphere. Is he the same person? The hospital saga continues its strange turn. Our protagonist, still dealing with the aftermath of the ghost fusion, touches his glowing red eye and muses that it's pretty cool. He seems to be accepting, or perhaps even embracing, this new, terrifying power. Back at the hospital, our transformed protagonist stares intently into the mirror, his red eye burning. He ponders what it feels like to sign a contract with a ghost. The reflection stares back, a chilling reminder of the power he now wields. A mysterious blue notification flashes declaring that they had no choice but to act independently. This cryptic message hints at a hidden agenda, or perhaps a failure in communication. Who are they, and why were they forced to act alone? The hospital just got a whole lot creepier, or funnier. Our protagonist, now sporting a glowing red eye, flashes a devious grin and chuckles. This isn't the same hero we knew. He's embracing the darkness, and it's oddly entertaining. The hospital is now a scene of intense scrutiny. With a glowing red eye, our protagonist is scanning someone muttering about their abilities and attribute values. He's clearly assessing his surroundings with this newfound power. What is he looking for? Lin Mo stares at a glowing blue screen displaying his stats. It reads, Spiritual Power, Inferior, Skill, Not Available, and Limited Control. Seems his new powers aren't quite up to snuff yet. What cosmic downer. Wo Chibi alert. Our protagonist, now in a cute squash form with one glowing red eye, declares that Brotung's loyalty is a bit low. Even in this adorable state, he's still got that sassy, slightly menacing vibe. The hospital just got a dose of dramatic defiance. The blood-eyed ghost roars its lack of loyalty, furious about the forced contract. A subtitle confirms a drop in loyalty. Oh, this is getting spicy. The hospital interface strikes again. A glowing blue screen offers to activate a ghost's first skill for 200 points. This sounds like a crucial decision point for our hero. Will he use his points to gain a new skill? In the hospital, the protagonist makes a choice. With a hopeful thought, he selects yes on the glowing blue screen. This is a gamble to improve his bond with the grumpy ghost. Let's hope it pays off. The consequence of the skill activation is brutal. Our protagonist's face is contorted in agony, a crimson stream flowing from his glowing red eye. This power comes at a steep and very messy cost. Still in the hospital, our hero stares into the mirror, his red eye still a focal point. He wonders how his skills activated so quickly while his reflection sneers, underestimating him. The tension between them is palpable. Success. A chibi version of our protagonist gleefully exclaims his victory. A blue banner above confirms the blood-eyed ghost's loyalty has increased. So activating that skill did indeed boost the loyalty, even if it's still a tiny bit dicey. Returning to the eerie hospital, we see the imposing building silhouetted against a stormy, dark sky. The iconic red cross on its facade glows, faintly hinting at the strange experiments and supernatural events occurring within its walls. Inside the hospital, Lin Mo stands in a dimly lit corridor, looking rather nonchalant. His glowing red eye is still prominent, but his expression is calm. Is he assessing his next move, or perhaps enjoying the eerie ambience? The hospital reveals more of its unsettling nature. Lin Mo peers into a room bathed in an ominous red glow, questioning if this is a place of experimentation. The ghostly figures within hint at the dark secrets this place holds. A chilling close-up, Lin Mo's face is illuminated by the sinister glow of his red eye, with tendrils of red energy emanating from it. His smirk hints at a wicked plan brewing. He's clearly embracing this dark power. Things are heating up. A green, monstrous figure with glowing eyes is grabbed by an unseen assailant with forceful impact. This creature looks quite menacing, and it's clearly in for a rough time. Someone's not happy. Chaos erupts. Our green-skinned monster is down, and a group of terrified individuals are fleeing. A panicked voice exclaims their frustration with the pursuing ghouls. It seems the monster was just a distraction. The hospital is infested. These ghouls with their glowing green eyes and menacing grins are relentlessly pursuing our protagonists. Their guttural howls fill the air, creating a truly terrifying atmosphere. Looks like our heroes are in for a serious fight. In the midst of the chaos, a desperate plea rings out. Someone suggests using a teleportation symbol, deciding anything is better than being eaten by ghouls. It looks like their only hope is a magical escape. Let's hope this symbol works. Back in the eerie hospital, Lin M.O., with his glowing red eye, stands calmly amidst the chaos. A desperate plea is heard for someone to handle the situation. It seems the plan involves him taking the lead, using his newfound powers. The plot thickens. A blue-haired girl is confronted with a crucial question about risking her life. A skeptical voice retorts that she doesn't have the ability to use the symbol, questioning her sanity. The stakes are incredibly high. A close-up of fierce determination. The blue-haired girl, her eyes narrowed and glowing with resolve, seems to be ignoring the doubts cast upon her. She's clearly focused on the task at hand, ready to prove them wrong. No time for hesitation. Amidst the panic, a frantic plea echoes as the group flees, reminding someone to use the teleportation symbol. Lin M.O., with his glowing red eye, watches on, his expression unreadable. Looks like he's the one expected to save the day. Lin M.O. faces something unexpected. His expression is one of shock and confusion as he questions what he's seeing. A bright light flares behind him, hinting at a new development or a sudden manifestation of power. Things are about to get interesting. The hospital unleashes its nightmares. Our protagonist turns to face a horde of ghastly figures, their green eyes glowing with malice. The ominous symbol above signals the impending danger. It's a ghoul palooza, and our hero is right in the thick of it. In the heart of the hospital, our protagonist's calm facade shatters. His eyes widen in alarm, and his mouth contorts into a grimace. The green glow behind him intensifies, suggesting the ghouls are closing in. He's clearly bracing for a fight. In the terrifying hospital, the blue-haired girl observes the protagonist, who is frozen in place, and concludes he must be scared stiff. Little does she know his stillness might be less about fear and more about the power brewing within. The ghouls are closing in. Above our protagonist's head, these monstrous figures with glowing green eyes unleash a terrifying chorus of howls. It's a chilling display, and our hero is about to become the main course. Lin M.O. decides to stop playing nice. With a hand covering his glowing red, he declares his intention to use his eye attack. This is no longer about survival. It's about unleashing his full terrifying power. Get ready for some eye-popping action. The hospital is now a battlefield. Lin M.O. unleashes his eye attack, manifesting as a chaotic vortex of crimson energy. The ghouls are caught in the maelstrom, their screams echoing as they face the devastating blood prison illusion. The hospital is taking a beating. As Lin Mo's blood prison illusion rages, the sound of powerful impacts echoes through the halls. The ghouls are being tossed around like ragdolls, and debris is flying everywhere. This attack is brutal. Hold on to your seats. The hospital just got a whole lot more industrial. A hand, eerily pale blue, grips the handle of a roaring chainsaw. The suspenseful atmosphere is shattered by the guttural growl of the engine. The chainsaw wielder reveals himself. With a menacing grin and his trusty tool revving, he taunts his stunned victims. The ghouls' mouths agape and eyes wide with terror can only stare as he prepares to unleash his mechanized mayhem. Our mysterious chainsaw wielder is back, and he's clearly not happy. With a furious expression and his glowing red eye blazing, he screams in frustration. The red aura surrounding him intensifies, suggesting he's about to unleash something truly devastating. In the quiet aftermath, the white-haired protagonist stands poised. The intense battle seems to have concluded, leaving him in a moment of calm. He's holding his chainsaw, casually, his expression unreadable. What happened to the ghouls? Back in the hospital, a group of characters expresses dismay about finding something first. Their expressions are filled with frustration as they realize something significant has been missed or taken. The context of the rarest group control skill hints at a valuable discovery. Talk about a plot twist. Our usually stoic protagonist is suddenly adorable and confused. A digital screen announces he's gained 40 breakthrough points while he mumbles in confusion. Is this a game system manifesting? Our hero seems utterly bewildered. The plot thickens. Lin Mo, with a sly smirk and glowing eyes, reveals his manipulative genius, thanking the others for leading the ghouls to him. It seems he orchestrated the entire ghoul invasion to achieve some hidden objective. Clever but sinister. With his mysterious green pills in hand, Lin Mo seems to have found a new hobby, threatening to turn his enemies into goo. His chilling smile suggests this hospital has become less of a prison and more of a personal hunting ground. But his calculating demeanor shatters in an instant. Now Lin Mo's eyes blaze with fury, glowing a malevolent red as he vows not to spare someone. This is no longer about strategy. It's pure, unadulterated rage. Someone's in for a world of pain. While the rest of the cast reacts to an emergency broadcast with appropriate terror, our hero takes a different approach. In a delightful chibi form, he finds the unfolding panic not just bearable, but rather amusing. He's clearly enjoying the show. The hospital is now a scene of utter chaos. Lin Mo, a silhouette of power, stands tall as ghouls are flung about in a swirling vortex of energy. He's not just fighting, he's commanding the very forces of the hospital. Lin Mo is feeling pretty confident. With his adorable eyeball tentacle companion clinging to him, he casually remarks that handling 5 ghouls would normally be a challenge. He seems to find the current situation not challenging at all. What a show-off. His ambition has reached new heights. With a menacing gesture and a wicked grin, he declares his intent to take over the entire hospital. This isn't just about survival anymore. It's about conquest. His eyeball companion looks understandably alarmed. The hospital has been thoroughly cleaned. Lin Mo stands amidst the fallen ghouls, a tableau of defeat. His eyeball companion, perched on his shoulder, vocalizes the grim scene. While it's a grim sight, Lin Mo seems unfazed. This panel offers a close-up of a defeated ghoul now reduced to a skeleton. The golden watch on its wrist is a stark reminder of its former life, now just a macabre accessory to its demise. A truly chilling detail. Lin Mo is cashing in on the carnage. Discovering gold jewelry on the skeletons, he gleefully declares the wealth is now his since the former owners are well dead. Talk about morbidly practical entrepreneurship. The hospital is proving to be quite the treasure trove. After looting the deceased ghouls, he sets his sights on an even bigger prize in the finance office. His ambition knows no bounds. This is a full-blown heist. Lin Mo seems to be experiencing a bit of discomfort. He's clutching his chest, his face scrunched up in a cough. Is it exhaustion from his looting spree, or is something else brewing? The red glow on his arm is concerning. Our protagonist has found the treasure. With a triumphant grin, he exclaims his discovery of the safe. His eyeball companion seems to share his excitement. Looks like all that looting and battling has paid off. Time to crack this bad boy open. The safe is proving tricky. Lin Mo's hand is shown attempting to open it, emitting a sharp, grinding sound. The tension is palpable as he struggles with the mechanism. Will his newfound luck and powers be enough to crack this stubborn safe? Well, it looks like Lin Mo's luck has run out. After a frustrating attempt to open the safe, he resigns himself to his fate, blaming the security bureau. He's clearly annoyed his get-rich-quick scheme foiled for now. The hospital is a grim and eerie setting even when its halls are seemingly empty. A giant red cross looms large, bathed in a sickly green light. The architecture suggests a cold, impersonal institution, perhaps now a tomb for many. A new character emerges, and she's got a peculiar look. This woman, with her pale blue skin and unsettling smile, remarks on the assessed students. Her sharp gaze hints at an assessment that our protagonist might have just passed or failed spectacularly. The saga continues. Lin Mo, now carrying a bulging sack, looks determined. The ding sound suggests a successful outcome, perhaps related to his safe-cracking attempts. With a focused gaze, he seems ready for whatever comes next. He might have found some loot, after all. The hospital is filled with unexpected encounters. Lin Mo is caught off guard, his eyes wide with shock as he mutters about a room. His hand is pressed against the surface as if startled. What or who is in that room? The hospital just got a whole lot more terrifying. This new character, a woman with long dark hair and glowing pink eyes, exudes an aura of dark power. Is she the source of the hospital's haunting or a new formidable threat? Lin Mo is feeling quite chummy with his eyeball companion. He celebrates their kinship and muses about their increasing loyalty. It seems our protagonist is developing a strong bond with his little monstrous friend. Adorable in a creepy sort of way, the mysterious woman with long dark hair and glowing pink eyes is revealed further. Her serene, almost ethereal demeanor suggests she's more than she appears. Is she a ghost, a spirit, or a powerful entity observing the chaos? The hospital continues to deliver the creeps. Lin Mo, looking visibly concerned, spots the mysterious glowing woman and questions her power. His gaze is fixed on her distant figure, his expression a mixture of apprehension and curiosity. The plot thickens. Lin Mo's eyeball companion chimes in, revealing insights about an ancient Qin covered in Sanskrit inscriptions. It speculates that the instrument produces some kind of lethal melody. This sounds like a dangerous artifact with potentially musical and deadly properties. The hospital crew is deep in thought. Lin Mo strokes his chin, a look of deep contemplation on his face. His eyeball companion, looking rather worried, seems to be sharing his concern. What complex problem are they trying to solve now? Lin Mo seems to be questioning his own senses or someone else's. With a perplexed expression, he asks about being blind. He's looking through a framed opening, perhaps a window or a monitor. Is he referring to himself, or has he encountered someone who is literally blind? The hospital reveals more of its mysteries. The woman with the dark hair and glowing pink eyes is confirmed to be blind, as our protagonist exclaims in surprise. This revelation adds another layer to her enigmatic presence and potential weakness. The hospital continues its intense battle. Lin Mo, with a determined smirk, declares he can't give up so easily against the big-chested ghost. He's clearly not backing down from his formidable foe. The battle is far from over. A brief moment of quiet, but what does it signify? A hand reaches out, its fingers delicately gripping a white cloth. The action is deliberate, suggesting the retrieval of an item or a preparation for something in this abandoned room. The situation escalates. Lin Mo and his eyeball companion are in a precarious spot. The companion warns that provoking her means certain death. This grim warning suggests the big-chested ghost is a serious threat. This is not a fight to be taken lightly. Lin Mo seems to be embracing his inner mad scientist. With a cheerful grin and his trusty eyeball companion floating nearby, he's holding a vial of something. Perhaps he's found a potent potion or is just celebrating a small victory. Cheers! Another eerie glimpse into the hospital. Lin Mo stands with his back to us, hand pressed against a wall as he looks towards a figure in the background. The woman in the red outfit seems to be observing him from a raised platform. The hospital just got way more terrifying. The woman in the red outfit is clearly not happy, letting out a blood-curdling scream. Her eyes are closed, her mouth wide open in a primal roar, and pink energy pulses around her. This is pure rage. The hospital unveils its musical menace. The woman is playing an ancient instrument, and with every pluck, vibrant pink energy surges outwards. The Sanskrit inscriptions must be activating the instrument's lethal melody, turning this performance into a dangerous spectacle. The lethal melody is taking its toll. Lin Mo is clearly suffering, hands clamped over his ears as he screams. The intense pink energy, likely emanating from the musical attack, is overwhelming him. Our hero is right in the blast zone. Just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, our protagonist claims he's a doctor ready for surgery. Despite being in pain, he shouts his medical credentials. Is this a twisted attempt at treatment in this haunted institution? The roles seem to have reversed. The serene woman is now in the foreground, her gaze directed towards the struggling protagonist. He's on his knees, gasping for air, suggesting the lethal melody is still ongoing and his claim was just a desperate plea. The hospital continues its bizarre narrative. Lin Mo, now looking more confident, extends his hand and offers a rather unusual method of proving his identity as a doctor. This is peak horror hospital logic, folks. The hospital is serving up some real chills. The woman with the stitched mouth seems to be responding to the protagonist's bizarre offer. She's leaning forward, her eyes closed, sniffing the air. Is she actually going to take him up on his offer? The hospital just served up a twisted twist. The woman with the stitched mouth is now impatient for her surgery. It seems her blindness didn't stop her from assessing the protagonist's offer. Is she aware he's not a real doctor? The hospital keeps delivering the absurdity. Our doctor is now confidently instructing the woman to get on the operating table. He seems to have convinced her, or at least she's going along with it. This is getting bizarre. The drama intensifies as our doctor prepares for the surgery. He holds a syringe, readying the anesthesia. She sits demurely, her eyes glowing red, waiting for whatever bizarre procedure is about to commence. This is a descent into madness. Well, that was fast. The operation is already underway, and the anesthesia seems to have worked its magic. The woman appears to have lost consciousness, and Lin Mo is positioned over her. He's about to get surgical. Is our doctor having a blast? He's got a wide, almost manic grin, blushing furiously. He seems to be either genuinely shocked by something or is reveling in the absurdity of performing surgery in this place. The hospital takes a turn for the serious. Lin Mo's expression has shifted from manic glee to one of shock, and perhaps even remorse. The blush has gone replaced by a look of genuine concern. This place is a psychological minefield. The hospital just unleashed its inner demon. The protagonist's expression contorts in pain and determination as he warns that things will get ugly. It looks like he's either resisting a powerful force or is about to unleash his own. The hospital escalates. A hand, presumably the protagonist, tightly grips a syringe ready for injection. With the purple energy surge in the previous scene, this injection could be the catalyst for something even more chaotic and ugly. The hospital injects chaos. Lin Mo, his eyes now completely white, thrusts the syringe forward. The woman, her stitched mouth forming a grimace, recoils. This isn't a surgery anymore. It's a desperate battle against the hospital's horrors. The twist continues. The woman, seemingly affected by the injection, slumps back, her glowing red eyes fading as she weakly utters her denial. Did the injection fail, or was this a sign of something even more sinister taking hold? The hospital delivers another dose of bizarre humor. Our doctor is back to his grinning self, cheerfully admitting he missed the vein. The previous injection clearly didn't go as planned, but he seems delighted by the challenge. What a professional. The hospital goes for a more direct approach. The syringe is shown plunging down, suggesting another, perhaps more forceful attempt. The surrounding energy streaks indicate this isn't just a simple injection anymore. It's a significant and probably painful event. Our doctor is at it again, but this time with a creepy compliment about the patient's smooth skin. The woman on the right looks utterly horrified, her expression a perfect picture of, oh no, what has he noticed now? This is getting seriously unsettling. Looks like our doctor is upping the ante. Multiple syringes are now being deployed simultaneously, with yellow energy bursts erupting from each needle's entry point. This isn't just a creepy experiment. It's an all-out, multi-pronged assault. The hospital drama reaches a fever pitch. A hand is shown forcefully injecting a syringe into an arm, while another hand grips the arm, suggesting a struggle. It's a chaotic and painful scene highlighting the intensity of whatever is happening. The hospital unleashes its true terror. The woman, her face contorted in agony and her eyes glowing red, screams in protest. The multiple injections are clearly causing immense pain, and the purple energy pulsing around her suggests something is going very wrong. Well, isn't this a surprising turn? Lin Mo is all smiles and apologies, promising to do better next time. Meanwhile, holographic screens in the background appear to be congratulating him. Perhaps his chaotic surgery was just a test. In a surprisingly calm moment, a gloved hand gently injects a clear liquid from a syringe into another hand. This scene feels less like the chaotic surgery we've seen and more like a moment of transfer or a symbolic act. Our hospital viewers are getting a dose of confusion. Two characters peer in with wide, shocked eyes, questioning if the protagonist is performing surgery on a ghost. They're witnessing his bizarre procedures and are understandably bewildered. The plot thickens. The woman from the previous scene, her face a mask of alarm, realizes the true nature of the situation. She understands that fear is a weapon against spirits, hinting at a deeper supernatural element. The hospital watchers are still reeling. The man, his face grim, questions if that guy is actually going to operate on his own patient. Their bewilderment suggests they can't comprehend the situation unfolding before them. The hospital introduces a new objective for our bewildered observers. The man, his expression, now one of intense curiosity, urges the woman to learn from the protagonist. It seems witnessing the bizarre surgery has inspired them to explore the supernatural. After all the chaos, we're back to a quieter moment. A figure silhouetted and lost in thought sits at a table, gazing out a window. Reflected in the glass is a faint, ghostly outline, a lingering memory. Well, look who decided to show up again. Our pale, rosy-cheeked character gasps in dismay. This isn't a friendly reunion. It's a groan of recognition and dread. Someone's definitely not happy to see our protagonist return. The hospital drama continues with a tense standoff. A hand grips a syringe tightly, while another, possibly the pale character from before, gestures for them to let go. It's a silent plea suggesting a struggle for control over the instrument. Things are getting intense. The patient on the table weakly asks what the doctor wants, while another character questions the directness. The palpable tension suggests a negotiation or a desperate plea in the face of an unknown threat. The hospital takes an unexpected turn. The doctor, with a reassuring smile, explains the patient's condition of gigantomastia. It seems the previous tension was a misunderstanding, and this is a legitimate, albeit peculiar, medical procedure. The hospital continues to blur the lines between surgery and something far more sinister. The doctor, with a disturbingly casual tone, asks how much needs to be removed while holding a chainsaw-like device. This is not your typical medical instrument. The hospital is in full swing. The doctor, his face showing a slight nervousness, asks the patient which side to remove. The chainsaw-like device is clearly being used. This is less surgery, more a terrifying decision about dismemberment. The hospital is delivering pure terror. The patient screams for both sides to be even, her face contorted in agony. Simultaneously, a system notification announces the host has gained 40 breakthrough points. Her suffering is directly fueling a power-up. The doctor, with his unsettling smile, is thrilled. He exclaims the procedure is effective, basking in the glow of the patient's suffering. Her pain clearly means success for him, linking directly to those breakthrough points. This is a twisted experiment. The hospital is descending into pure chaos. The patient, her face a mask of torment, clutches her head, crying out about her hormones. The doctor's success seems to come at a horrific cost, escalating beyond a simple medical procedure. The doctor's sinister smile widens as he brandishes his chainsaw, asking about the front or the back. He's clearly enjoying this macabre procedure. The patient's screams seem to fuel his sadistic glee. This isn't medicine. It's a terrifying display of power. The hospital continues its dreadful symphony of pain and progress. The patient, her face a picture of pure agony, rejects the front as a good idea. Meanwhile, a triumphant notification announces more breakthrough points. Her suffering is directly powering up the system. The hospital escalates from surgical horror to a full-blown struggle. The white-haired doctor, with a determined look, pushes the patient, forcing her into a new, perhaps more painful position. The intensity is palpable. The doctor, with a disturbingly gleeful expression, gleefully forgets he didn't use anesthesia. His eyes widen with sadistic pleasure as he seems to relish the thought of his patient's imminent agonizing experience. This is medical malpractice at its most terrifying. The hospital is pushing the limits of sanity and surgery. The patient screams for him to remove all of it, while the doctor offers a terrifyingly casual solution: liposuction with a membership discount. Her agony is clearly fueling a system upgrade. The hospital seems to have unleashed something truly monstrous. The patient, now exhibiting glowing pink eyes and a terrifying fanged grin, screams in triumph. The intense energy radiating from her suggests a supernatural transformation. She's no longer just a victim. The hospital has officially gone nuclear. The transformed patient is now a vortex of raw power, emanating destructive pink energy. The former doctor, a small figure in the foreground, appears to be caught in the crossfire of this terrifying outburst. Amidst the chaotic transformation, the white-haired doctor cuts through the madness with a surprisingly calm tone. While a system notification announces the breach level, his focus remains on the patient, attempting to de-escalate or control the situation. The patient, now a terrifying force of nature, dismisses the doctor's attempt to control with a furious shout. Surrounded by crackling pink energy and thorny protrusions, she is clearly embracing her monstrous transformation, rejecting any attempt to pacify her. The doctor, now bathed in a bright blue energy surge, delivers a chilling ultimatum to sign the contract. With a confident smirk, he implies her current path is futile. This isn't about healing anymore. It's about a binding agreement under duress. The drama intensifies as the transformed patient, now embodying a ghostly aura, reads aloud the terms of a contract. She questions if the Miss Big-Chested secret agent is truly willing to become Linmo's contract, Ghost reciting the unwavering commitment required. The patient's monstrous transformation continues with a chilling addition to the contract terms about marriage. Her face contorted in a terrifying scream, glowing eyes fixed on some unseen horror. She seems to be reacting with sheer terror or rage. As the hospital devolves into supernatural chaos, we see the white-haired doctor, his face illuminated by a cool blue light. His eyes are hidden, but a slight, knowing smirk plays on his lips. A system notification suggests he's activating his own trump card. The chaos reigns supreme. The patient, her eyes wide and glowing, screams in utter shock and confusion, realizing she's been forced into an agreement. The doctor's machinations have clearly taken an unexpected turn even for her. The hospital is now a battlefield of cosmic proportions. The white-haired doctor, with his arm outstretched, unleashes a powerful pink energy blast towards the monstrous patient. The situation is escalating rapidly. The doctor, now seemingly in control, reveals a significant detail: a glowing 3 tattoo on his arm. His expression is a mix of cunning and confidence, hinting at a deeper plan. Whatever this symbol signifies, it's clearly important. The doctor, as enigmatic as ever, elaborates on his spectral contract system. He explains that a contract with an individual ghost creates a unique bond, and a simple touch is all that's needed to summon them. It's chillingly intimate. The doctor, with a chillingly smug grin, reveals his spectral collection. He proudly announces he has 2 contracts with 1 slot left. Beside him stand his intimidating companions. It seems he's well on his way to fulfilling his quota. The situation takes a turn as the patient, no longer fully monstrous, but still enraged, yells at the doctor, calling him fraud. She's clearly furious and feels betrayed, while the doctor's smug expression suggests he's enjoying the drama. The doctor, with a sinister smirk and a chillingly benevolent tone, offers a twisted proposition for her to stay inside his body. He's not offering help. He's offering imprisonment in exchange for her power, a classic villain move. The drama continues as the white-haired doctor, with a saccharine smile and wide, almost manic eyes, declares he's there to help. The woman beside him, still showing signs of distress and suspicion, looks utterly unconvinced by his false benevolence. The drama escalates as the woman, clearly furious and feeling tricked, unleashes a guttural curse. Her face is contorted in rage, and the spectral creature nestled against her breast seems to echo her outrage. His help has obviously backfired spectacularly. In the midst of the chaos, the narrative cuts to a digital interface displaying an attribute page. A robotic finger hovers over the screen, suggesting a system query or an imminent change. Is this a glimpse into the doctor's power system? The narrative zooms in on the digital interface again, this time focusing on the top of the screen where skills, not yet activated, is displayed. This confirms the attribute page is a status screen, and the doctor's true powers are still dormant. The doctor's expression shifts from smug to genuinely surprised as he questions how someone knows his secret. His eyes widen and his mouth hangs open, indicating he's encountered something unexpected. This is a major development. The scene becomes intensely dramatic as the woman, shrouded in swirling pink energy, seems to be undergoing a profound transformation. Her eyes are closed, suggesting channeling of immense force, hinting at something both beautiful and dangerous. The doctor, momentarily shedding his sinister demeanor, exclaims with manic glee at his great haul. His eyes sparkle with excitement, revealing a childlike delight in acquiring new abilities. This sudden burst of joy is almost comical. The doctor's explanation continues, detailing the nuances of his abilities. He explains that while illusions can immobilize, a stun is different, preventing both movement and thought. The visual shows the small red creature being frozen. The scene erupts with spectral energy. The woman, now seemingly channeling power from a book, unleashes a torrent of pink energy. The blue ghost reacts with terror, while the little purple figure flails wildly. It appears the doctor's skill is in full chaotic effect. The doctor's triumphant grin fades slightly as he admits he's missing a damage-dealing ghost. His eyes narrow with a hint of frustration, revealing a flaw in his otherwise impressive spectral collection. He needs a more offensive ally. The doctor, ever the opportunist, pulls out a small device, declaring his intent to contract with whatever he finds. With a determined look, he prepares to analyze his surroundings for a new spectral ally, ready to exploit any opportunity. Suddenly, an urgent announcement cuts through the drama. There's only 1 hour left until midnight. A digital display glows ominously, implying a critical deadline. This ticking clock adds a new layer of urgency to the ongoing chaos. The rules of this twisted place are laid bare. Accommodation and meals depend on the number of contracts with the ICU ward reserved for those with at least one. The doctor stands alone in the dimly lit hallway, a lone figure amidst this bizarre system. The chaos intensifies with a chilling roar emanating from behind bars. The image hints at something monstrous, possibly a patient or a creature confined, yet menacing. The mention of the 5th floor suggests a containment area for particularly dangerous subjects. The doctor continues his exploration, his footsteps echoing in the stark, sterile environment. The camera focuses on his lower half, highlighting his purposeful stride. The overall atmosphere is one of quiet tension as he navigates the dimly lit corridors. With a determined, "Let's go," the doctor, accompanied by the woman and the peculiar egg-like creature, prepares to move forward. His expression is now one of grim resolve, hinting at the dangers ahead. It seems they're heading towards the source of the roar. A holographic display projects an image of the pristine ICU, a stark contrast to the grim reality of the regular wards. This highlights the privileges associated with contracts, emphasizing the twisted reward system of this place. A new character, a young woman with blue hair, expresses her plight of only being able to stay in a regular ward despite her contract. Her exasperated tone highlights the harsh reality that even a single contract doesn't guarantee a comfortable stay. The blue-haired girl, now looking at a holographic display, points out another student's plight to emphasize her own relative fortune. This highlights the brutal hierarchy of the hospital, where even basic accommodation is a privilege. Her companion agrees with her assessment, but their conversation is interrupted. This suggests the blue-haired girl's smugness might be short-lived, as someone is about to address them, possibly challenging their perspective or needing help. The interrupted conversation takes a turn as a young man announces their new complete ghost contract. He points accusingly at Lin Mo, declaring his arrogance is over. This clearly signals a confrontation fueled by their newfound confidence. The drama takes a condescending turn as a character smirks and taunts Lin Mo about his short legs. This jab adds a layer of petty rivalry to the unfolding conflict, suggesting a chase is about to ensue. The blue-haired girl fires back, dismissing his boasts and highlighting the brutal stakes of the hospital. Her intense glare and mention of the corridor as a death sentence emphasize the harsh reality of their situation. The blue-haired girl's defiance continues as she proclaims her disgust at the thought of living with him. Her crossed arms and disdainful expression imply a refusal to share accommodation, escalating the conflict and highlighting the social hierarchy. Her declaration prompts a surprise question about giving up her accommodation rights. Immediately, another student eagerly pleads to take them, offering to pay. This shows the desperate competition for even basic accommodation in this place. The smug opponent from earlier, with an even more pronounced smirk, declares his intention to stay in the ICU. Behind him, the blue-haired girl looks utterly shocked. This implies he's leveraging his complete ghost contract to secure the desirable ward. The blue-haired girl, still reeling, confronts the smug young man, accusing him of boasting without the innate conditions. This suggests there are specific requirements for staying in the ICU, implying he might not actually qualify despite his claims. Escalating the tension, the smug young man dismisses the blue-haired girl's outburst with an impatient shove. He pushes past her, his expression determined, implying he's heading towards his goal regardless of her accusations. This conflict is far from over. As the conflict simmers, a hand reaches out and presses against a glowing blue energy barrier. The intricate patterns and hum of the field suggest a powerful artificial defense. This visual implies an attempt to overcome an obstacle or access a restricted area. The smug young man, surrounded by glowing blue energy, lets out a sharp beep, as if acknowledging the barrier's activation. His intense gaze suggests he's pushing through a technological hurdle. The pulsing energy around him hints at a moment of intense effort. The smug young man grins wickedly as a screen displays his success in gaining 50 breakthrough points. Behind him, the blue-haired girl and a masked figure look on in utter disbelief. The question of how it's possible hangs in the air. The blue-haired girl, seething with disbelief, unleashes a furious cry about the school records and innate limits. Her eyes are wide with anger and confusion, questioning how her opponent could possibly have gained those breakthrough points. It suggests a fundamental rule has been broken. The smug young man's triumphant smirk intensifies as he dismisses his opponents. The blue-haired girl and a masked boy behind him are now depicted with glowing red eyes, indicating their heightened distress and anger. He's about to make a decisive move. Amidst the chaos, the smug young man's expression softens slightly as he remarks on a special modification by the Security Bureau. He seems to be acknowledging the power or nature of something, perhaps his own newfound abilities, with a hint of admiration. The hospital takes a peculiar turn as a close-up shot reveals a hand holding chopsticks, delicately picking something from a sparkling container. A voice exclaims in delight, adding a humorous and slightly absurd element to the narrative. The smug young man, continuing his delighted feasting, is shown with his cheeks puffed out, enthusiastically using chopsticks. His closed eyes and contented expression clearly convey his enjoyment of the food, adding a touch of humor to the grim setting. The smug young man, still enjoying his meal, excitedly recommends pot restaurants to the others. His wide eyes and open mouth suggest he's sharing his newfound joy. This implies a shift in his demeanor from aggressive boasting to sharing his experience. The smug young man, previously so full of himself, is now depicted with a look of utter shock and realization about the other's accommodation rights. This sudden shift suggests he's remembered a crucial detail he might be able to exploit. In a classic chibi moment, the smug young man dramatically proclaims his desire to see the outside world while stuffing food into his mouth. The blue-haired girl and a masked boy behind him react with extreme annoyance. Humor meet despair. The blue-haired girl and a masked boy, their eyes glowing red with fury, unleash a combined onslaught of accusations. Their faces are contorted in rage, suggesting they've seen through the smug young man's facade and are ready to fight back. The scene abruptly cuts to a close-up of a table laden with various dishes, all presented with an almost magical sparkle. This sudden shift in focus to food feels almost surreal, especially after the intense confrontation. Stress eating, perhaps? The previously enraged blue-haired girl is now shown with a deeply frustrated expression, her eyes narrowed and her teeth gritted as she shouts at her opponent. The intensity of her anger is palpable, indicating her impatience is at its end. The smug young man, seemingly unfazed by her anger, calmly offers Lin 10,000 yuan to switch rooms. Behind him, a holographic-like display shows the blue-haired girl and others looking stoic. A strategic negotiation is underway. The smug young man, still enjoying his meal, offers a mocking smile and a defiant question. He's clearly enjoying the food he's obtained and showing no intention of giving it up, relishing his perceived advantage. The blue-haired girl shouts a warning to Lin Mo, while the masked boy chimes in with a threat about his high-ranking father. They're clearly trying to intimidate the smug young man by invoking the power and influence of their families. The smug young man, bathed in a warm light, leans forward with a confident smirk, dismissing the threats with a casual remark. He seems to relish the challenge, unafraid of the consequences, and possibly enjoying his ability to defy the rules. The blue-haired girl and a masked boy looking up at the smug young man react with disbelief and anger. Their expressions suggest his latest words have deeply offended or shocked them. The tension is palpable. The blue-haired girl, addressing Liu Zhe, pleads for him to endure the situation, promising compensation. Her tone suggests she's trying to placate him. The masked boy, however, seems utterly bewildered by her words. The masked boy adopts a defiant stance, challenging his opponent to hit him. He boldly declares he's insured and will receive the protection of his Sun family, implying he's willing to endure a blow for future gain. True to his word, the masked boy is shown taking a direct hit, his face contorted in pain as a sharp impact sound emanates. Despite his earlier bravado, the reality of the attack is clearly painful. Above the chaos, a holographic screen proclaims a gain of 20 breakthrough points. Meanwhile, the blue-haired girl feigns not hearing, and the masked boy warns Lin not to go too far, setting a tense scene. Suddenly, a hand clad in a light blue sleeve shoots out towards the viewer, propelled by streaks of light that suggest immense speed and force. This action implies an immediate and perhaps aggressive response from one of the characters. The masked boy is thrown back with a cry, his body contorted as if struck with extreme force. The blue-haired girl hovers above him, her expression fierce, one leg extended as if delivering the blow. Red, jagged text explodes around them. The blue-haired girl, her expression a mix of anger and frustration, glares at the masked boy, who is hunched over in pain. She demands he leave, suggesting her plan has backfired and she's now eager to be rid of him. The smug young man, arms crossed, and a slight smirk on his face, casually refuses a request. The blue-haired girl, incensed by his refusal, retorts with an accusation. The tension is escalating as his defiance clashes with her fury. The smug young man calmly explains his logic, twisting his earlier words. He's considered her request, and it's not possible. The blue-haired girl, her eyes glowing red with fury, can only gasp in outrage. The drama reaches a new peak. The blue-haired girl, seething with anger, directs a furious threat at the smug young man before pulling the masked boy away. She's clearly disengaging for now, but not without leaving a parting threat of future regret. The masked boy, looking disgruntled, grumbles a threat about the Sun family. Even though he's been dealt with, his loyalty remains strong, and he vows retribution for the insult, emphasizing the family's power. Amidst the ongoing conflict, a glowing blue screen interrupts with good news. The host has gained 100 breakthrough points. Simultaneously, a hand holds chopsticks over a bowl of shimmering stew, hinting at the rewards being obtained. The smug young man, with a self-satisfied smirk, holds chopsticks and triumphantly states he's earning a lot of points. His tone is celebratory, implying his recent actions, whatever they were, have paid off handsomely. In the unsettling quiet, a clock face, faintly illuminated, displays the passage of time. Beside it, a pale blue rectangle hangs in the darkness, casting a subtle, eerie glow. The scene suggests a moment of pause before what's next. A circular device on a surface emits a soft, glowing light, accompanied by a subtle beep. Above, small red icons float in the air, suggesting a lingering sense of urgency or a hidden warning. The atmosphere remains tense. A young man and woman stand in front of a glowing blue panel, the woman looking worriedly at the man. She questions his compassion and voices her fear about a malicious spirit. Their concern adds a layer of unease. Lin Mo, his face partially obscured, pleads for the right to stay overnight in a hospital room. His desperate request suggests a deep-seated need for safety or a connection to someone within the hospital. The young man, his grip firm on the woman's hands, looks at her with unwavering determination. He passionately promises to save her, offering her hope and courage amidst the surrounding danger. Tears stream down the woman's face as she desperately pleads with the man not to come out, warning him of the danger. Her anguished cries highlight the imminent peril, casting doubt on his ability to fulfill his promise. The young man, embracing the distressed woman, offers a somber reassurance, acknowledging the higher risk outside. His determined gaze and protective stance show his resolve to face the danger, even as she fears for him. Lin Mo glares with disdain, spitting out his contemptuous insult. The raw emotion in his eyes suggests a deep-seated frustration or anger directed at someone's perceived idiocy within the hospital. He is not impressed. With a casual wave and a confident smirk, the young man bids farewell. His relaxed demeanor, even within the unsettling hospital, suggests an underlying confidence or perhaps a hidden agenda as he departs for the night. Lin Mo is depicted asleep, his white hair spread out as he snores peacefully. His relaxed face suggests he has finally found some rest amidst the chaos of the hospital. Even heroes need their beauty sleep. In the dimly lit ward, several empty beds are arranged in rows. 3 figures stand near the center, seemingly in conversation. The scene is punctuated by the recurring sound of snoring, suggesting a peaceful moment amidst the tension. A young man questions if Lin Mo cheated to stay in the ICU, while a girl with purple pigtails suggests he's deliberately trying to embarrass someone. Their suspicions cast a shadow over Lin Mo's actions and motives. With a glare of pure malice, the girl vows to make sure Lin Mo can't survive in Jiang Province. Her anger intensifies as she observes the bloody bed, questioning how she can possibly sleep in such conditions. The girl, her expression now one of grim determination, decides to place her clothes on the bed. The man beside her, clutching a plaid shirt, seems to be preparing for a grim night. The bloodstains on the floor hint at disturbing prior events. A close-up shot reveals a plaid fabric being used to cover something. This simple detail suggests the characters are settling down for the night, adding a sense of quiet to the otherwise tense and horrifying atmosphere of the hospital. The girl with purple pigtails beams, praising the man's sensibility. He, looking a bit awkward, agrees that this way is a little cleaner. Their exchange injects a moment of lightheartedness and practical concern into the grim setting. Huddled and anxious, the young man whispers for them to endure a little longer, hoping for liberation at dawn. His plea conveys the dire circumstances and a desperate hope for escape as night continues to drag on. A sudden sharp cry pierces the darkness, suggesting a startling event or discovery. The abrupt sound hints at immediate danger or alarm, breaking the fragile calm of the hospital night and setting everyone on edge. The young man's face contorts in shock and fear as he exclaims in question. His eyes are wide and sweat beads on his forehead, indicating a sudden, terrifying realization or encounter. Whatever he saw has clearly shaken him. The young man's face is a mask of pure terror, his eyes wide, and his mouth open in a silent scream. Red light casts an ominous glow, intensifying the horror of whatever he is witnessing. He is completely petrified. A chaotic battle erupts. Figures clash, weapons swing, and a bright axe flashes amidst the fray. Dramatic characters explode across the scene, conveying the intensity and ferocity of the combat. The hospital has descended into pure, unadulterated action. The hospital is in pandemonium. A window shatters as several figures react to the chaos. Red screams emanate from the scene, suggesting a sudden violent intrusion or escalation of the ongoing horror. Things are not looking good. A man with a panicked expression points a finger, questioning a seated figure on a bed. His gaze is directed towards the distressed person bathed in an eerie blue light. The question hangs heavy in the air, implying a potential misunderstanding. A figure mostly obscured by a blue blanket desperately cries their innocence. Their panicked denial suggests they're being implicated in something terrible, perhaps the chaos that just erupted in the hospital. The fear is palpable. 3 individuals stand together, their expressions a mix of concern and suspicion. The man on the left appears to be leading them. The blue-haired girl beside him has a determined gaze, while the bespectacled boy looks understandably apprehensive. A new character emerges, smirking with an air of superiority and a dismissive health. The group from the previous scene looks on with apprehension. This newcomer clearly holds some sway, or at least a strong opinion regarding the unfolding events. The new character, with a glint of intrigue in his eyes, eagerly declares his intention to take a look. His smirk suggests he's about to uncover something or confront the source of the chaos. His confidence is palpable. The newcomer contemplates his predicament, realizing he has illusions and dizziness, but lacks tankiness and damage output. Facing off against a grotesque, eye-like creature and a spectral woman, he's analyzing his combat capabilities within the chilling hospital. The white-haired protagonist voices his caution about unknown specters in a black mist, deciding to wait until dawn. Meanwhile, a separate thought surfaces about forming a contract with the Chainsaw Ghost. He's weighing risks and potential alliances. A horrifying scene unfolds as a figure, seemingly a reanimated corpse, stands over a fallen victim. With guttural cries for meat, the creature's primal hunger is evident, painting a grim picture of the dangers lurking within. A dramatic mid-air confrontation unfolds. One figure armed with a blade lunges at another in a sleek suit mid-flight. The eerie green lighting and shadowy depths of the hospital provide a suitably unsettling backdrop for this aerial duel. Chilling. A monstrous figure masked and glowing with menacing red eyes emanates an aura of pure terror, proclaiming its love for the taste of human flesh. This ghastly apparition is a new terror driven by an insatiable, horrifying hunger. Panic grips the hospital. A young man, eyes wide with terror, yells into a phone for someone named Shao Qian to save him. His desperate plea echoes through the dark, unsettling environment, hinting at immediate danger. Amidst the chaos, a frantic man yells for them to come out and save him, then turns to someone else, urging them to answer a call. Meanwhile, a tiny speech bubble whispers an apology, adding a layer of confusion and guilt. In the dim, unsettling light, Lin Mo contemplates if what he's feeling is love. His expression is a complex mix of vulnerability and confusion, suggesting a moment of unexpected emotional revelation amidst the surrounding horror. Tears stream down a young woman's face as she screams for someone to save her. The swirling purple mist behind her amplifies her terror, emphasizing the desperate situation she finds herself in within the nightmarish hospital. The hospital erupts into violent action. A menacing chainsaw dripping with a sinister red substance cuts through the dark green-hued atmosphere. The sheer brutality of the weapon suggests a powerful, dangerous force is at play. A fierce battle rages. Lin Mo, eyes glowing with power, unleashes a devastating attack with a long blade. He's clearly a force to be reckoned with, engaging whatever monstrosity lies just out of frame. The plot thickens. After a chaotic exchange, a character notes something has disappeared, met with a disbelieving response. What has vanished? And who are these bewildered observers? The mystery deepens in this bizarre hospital. Lin Mo, his expression sharp and condescending, delivers a chilling threat. His intense gaze suggests he's addressing someone who has made a grave mistake, and he's not about to let it slide. The stakes are rising. A violent moment. A character's face is contorted in a scream, eyes wide with terror and pain as a forceful impact seems to strike them. The streaking lines indicate rapid movement or a powerful blow, leaving us to wonder about the grim outcome. The hospital unleashes its nightmares. A grotesque, hulking figure with glowing red eyes and a blood-stained chainsaw looms over a cowering man. The oppressive darkness suggests a brutal confrontation is about to reach its terrifying climax. A moment of salvation. A figure's hands erupt with golden energy, followed by a dramatic red wave. A voice thanks Lin Mo, then chillingly declares that Wu Kun is out. It seems a powerful intervention has occurred, and a dangerous entity is now free. The monstrous Wu Kun, now loose in the hospital, is consumed by rage, demanding his meat. His glowing red eyes and shadowy form radiate pure menace, amplified by his chilling, ravenous pronouncements. He seems hangry. Amidst the horror, a ridiculously cute chibi character pops out, gleefully laughing. This stark contrast to the surrounding terror is hilariously jarring, and its playful taunt might be more unnerving than any monster's roar. A chilling sound emanates from the hospital as distorted breathing is heard. The visual shows a figure trapped behind a glass-like barrier, surrounded by a disturbing glow. The distorted sound suggests a monstrous or unnatural entity. A figure trapped behind a glowing blue barrier questions another's departure, worried about earning more points. This implies a transactional relationship where freedom impacts one's ability to gain points, adding a layer of strange logic to the events. In the eerie confines of the hospital, a hand reaches out towards a glowing blue portal. Above it, an unlocked padlock symbol pulses, suggesting a gateway is being opened. The swirling energy implies a powerful force at play. A menacing presence identified as Wu Kun taunts his prey. Seen from behind, its hulking form and the eerie green lighting amplify the threat, making the offer of meat sound less like a meal and more like a deadly trap. The long, dark corridor is bathed in an eerie green light, with a lone figure visible in the distance. Closer to the foreground, Wu Kun's menacing presence looms, his red eyes piercing through the gloom. A tense encounter is imminent. Within the strange confines of the hospital, a group trapped behind a glowing blue barrier questions Lin Mo's intentions. Their consensus seems to be that whatever he's planning, he's probably doomed. The faith in our hero is truly inspiring. The monstrous Wu Kun lets out a chilling, maniacal laugh, his single-minded obsession with meat on full display. His glowing red eyes and skeletal mask radiate pure madness, emphasizing his predatory hunger and the terrifying implications of that obsession. In a sudden shift, Lin Mo smirks confidently before a forceful kick connects with a mysterious glowing object. The cool blue light of the impact suggests this was a precise and calculated move, part of a much larger unseen plan. Success. A triumphant cry echoes as the blue barrier shatters into pieces. Lin Mo, now on the ground amidst the chaotic aftermath, seems to have successfully infiltrated or perhaps escaped, much to the presumed annoyance of his pursuers. A pivotal moment. As Lin Mo achieves a breakthrough and earns 50 points, a desperate voice pleads for him not to go. The scene is a whirlwind of action, suggesting his departure is imminent, leaving the others behind in the lurch. A taunting return. Lin Mo, now on the other side of a glowing blue light, announces his reappearance. Wu Kun, with his menacing red eyes and mask, reacts with pure fury, setting the stage for a renewed and very personal confrontation. A chaotic chase ensues. A cacophony of threats, roars, and desperate screams fills the air. The panel depicts the rapid back-and-forth nature of a relentless pursuit, a deadly game of cat and mouse through the haunted halls. The hospital's residents react to Lin Mo's seemingly erratic comings and goings. While one character laughs maniacally, another despairs about the lack of negotiation, concluding that our hero is simply a lunatic. An astute observation, really. A character with glowing glasses and a sinister grin questions the wisdom of provoking the chainsaw ghost. He ominously predicts a gruesome demise for the offender once the barrier disappears at dawn, adding a layer of dread to the unfolding events. Panic erupts as a character shouts that Lin Mo is chasing the chainsaw ghost. The exclamation is met with a shocked cry of disbelief from another. This revelation suggests Lin Mo is actively pursuing the dangerous entity, setting up a high-stakes confrontation. The chainsaw ghost, a hulking blue monstrosity, unleashes a furious roar. It reacts with shock and aggression to Lin Mo's apparent reappearance, its expression clearly questioning his return as the chase intensifies. Lin Mo, his eyes blazing with intensity, declares that his progress has reached 80% and he can't let it go now. His expression is a mix of urgency and resolve as he charges forward, driven by an unyielding purpose. A tense moment. The chainsaw ghost, its massive red eyes staring intensely, sweats with apprehension. Facing an unseen threat or realization, its expression conveys a palpable sense of fear and uncertainty in the face of Lin Mo's relentless pursuit. The confrontation escalates. Lin Mo, defiant, declares he's had enough and is ready to fight. The chainsaw ghost revs its weapon, and the ensuing clash is depicted with intense speed lines signifying the start of a fierce battle. A dramatic turn. Lin Mo unleashes his ultimate skill, the blood prison illusion. His eyes glow red with power, and the background erupts in a chaotic swirl of red energy, indicating a powerful and dangerous ability has been activated. In the midst of the chaos, a sudden pause. Command interrupts the fight. The chainsaw ghost, brandishing its weapon, looks bewildered, questioning the strange interruption as if caught off guard by an unexpected event or intervention. Amidst the chaos, a bizarre culinary exchange occurs. Lin Mo seems to be offering his own arm as a meal, proclaiming its fine dining qualities. The chainsaw ghost eagerly accepts. A truly unsettling and darkly humorous moment. Frustration mounts for the chainsaw ghost as it claps its hands, impatiently demanding to know why its meal isn't being eaten. Its red eyes glare intensely, clearly annoyed that Lin Mo's arm isn't being consumed as expected. Lin Mo, with a sly smile, reveals a critical detail about the arm-eating ability. It's only effective for 10 seconds on high-level ghosts. He hints at a further unexpected development, suggesting his master plan is still unfolding. A dramatic countdown unfolds. As the numbers tick down, the chainsaw ghost experiences its veins bulging. This signifies the impending activation of something powerful or a critical moment in Lin Mo's plan. Here we go. The hospital erupts in terror as the countdown hits 0. Lin Mo, his eyes glowing red, exclaims, "Time's up." The chainsaw ghost screams in agony as Lin Mo's blood prison illusion apparently overpowers it, indicating a dire turn of events. The hospital becomes a fiery battleground. The chainsaw ghost unleashes a devastating slice, with its weapon surrounded by intense flames and energy. The massive characters on screen suggest a powerful, perhaps fatal attack is being executed. A peculiar calm settles in after the fiery display. Lin Mo, with a knowing smirk, addresses the severely burned chainsaw ghost, stating his disinterest in eating. His tone suggests a strategic victory or a shift in tactics. A chilling transformation occurs. The chainsaw ghost emerges, its red eye glowing ominously, now shrouded in dark, tendril-like energy. This sinister new form suggests it has fully unleashed its power or undergone a horrific evolution. Lin Mo, radiating intense blue energy, beckons with a sinister grin, urging someone to sign a contract. The electrifying display suggests a critical agreement is being finalized, potentially sealing the fate of the chainsaw ghost. A perplexing proposition. Lin Mo's voice asks the chainsaw ghost to become his third contracted ghost. The ghost, looking bewildered with a large question mark above its head, seems to accept, mumbling about the contract signing. A digital notification declares the contract successfully signed. However, the chainsaw ghost, looking utterly bewildered, protests that it didn't say anything highlighting a forced or automated contract signing. Tricky. A surge of raw red energy engulfs the hospital as a powerful, glowing weapon is wielded. The chaotic display suggests an overwhelming attack, possibly from the newly contracted chainsaw ghost or a retaliatory strike. Either way, it looks painful. With a hint of satisfaction and a small wound on his arm, Lin Mo declares the third one. This triumphant statement, likely referring to the chainsaw ghost as his third contracted entity, suggests a successful culmination of his plans. As Lin Mo leaves the hospital, he glances back at a faintly glowing silhouette in the distance. This spectral image suggests the successful departure of the contracted entity, leaving behind an eerie quiet and a sense of lingering supernatural presence. A mysterious new character questions the speed of Lin Mo's contract, marveling that even the boss of the security bureau couldn't forcefully contract a ghost like that. This hints at Lin Mo's extraordinary and perhaps unprecedented abilities. The bewilderment continues as the mysterious figure ponders how Lin Mo accomplishes feat. The close-up on their face emphasizes their deep curiosity and confusion about his seemingly impossible act of contracting the chainsaw ghost so quickly. An announcement echoes through the hospital. The chainsaw ghost has been eliminated, but one fierce ghost remains. This ominous warning suggests the remaining ghost is extremely dangerous and the situation has escalated considerably. The fun never stops. Panic erupts as the announcement sinks in. The other students exclaim in disbelief, questioning how Lin Mo, with only a remnant-level ghost, could possibly be a match for the chainsaw ghost. His power is clearly overwhelming them. As Lin Mo departs through a glowing blue portal, the remaining characters watch in stunned silence. The empty hospital bed in the foreground serves as a stark reminder of the recent intense events and the now eliminated chainsaw ghost. Back from the hospital, Lin Mo receives a digital notification congratulating him on gaining 40 breakthrough points. This indicates his successful mission and the acquisition of valuable points likely for his future power growth. Lin Mo reflects on his good classmates who unknowingly contributed to his gains. He muses on their unwitting contributions, showcasing his detached yet strategic approach to accumulating power. He plays the long game. Lin Mo reviews his new contract in the aftermath. The screen displays the chainsaw ghost, with 2 locked skills hinting at future upgrades and challenges. The grind never stops, not even for supernatural warlords. The screen continues to update, showing that the chainsaw ghost contract is progressing now at 30% completion. This suggests that Lin Mo's influence or power over the contracted ghost is steadily increasing. A grand tower, symbolizing control, is presented, implying that whoever controls it becomes the ultimate boss. A competition is underway for the title of Most Powerful Overlord, with a winner claiming all the ghost's essence, setting the stage for a major power struggle. Lin Mo, now in chibi form, contemplates the chainsaw ghost's low loyalty. He declares his need to improve his level as soon as possible, realizing his immediate need for power upgrades to overcome current limitations. Time grind. As Lin Mo focuses on improving his level, a sudden cry of pain escapes him. This indicates an immediate and apparently agonizing process is underway as he attempts to rapidly enhance his power. No pain, no gain, I suppose. Utterly exhausted from his rapid power-up, Lin Mo collapses, gasping that he needs to catch up on sleep. The abrupt need for rest suggests the immense toll the recent power surge has taken on him. Leveling up is tiring work. The scene shifts to a wide scenic view of a futuristic city bathed in bright sunlight. This expansive shot suggests a change of location or a moment of calm before the next plot development. A welcome respite from the horror. Having caught up on his much-needed sleep, Lin Mo is now seen casually eating. The futuristic setting with its hexagonal patterns suggests he's in a safe, advanced environment, enjoying a moment of peace before the inevitable next crisis. As Lin Mo continues to eat, the group from the hospital appears in the background. Their presence, coupled with Lin Mo's apparent nonchalance, suggests a potential reunion or continuation of their very complicated shared journey. Lin Mo, still holding his food, turns and offers his former companions some hot pot soup. His offer adds a touch of mundane hospitality amidst the supernatural events, a truly bizarre olive branch after everything they've been through. As Lin Mo makes his offer, a loud digital notification blares, congratulating him on gaining 60 breakthrough points. Simultaneously, the group from the hospital reacts with shock, perhaps at his casual demeanor or the sudden system announcement. Lin Mo pauses his meal, looking contemplative as he encounters a new individual. The presence of the same group from the hospital in the background suggests their paths are intertwined, creating a sense of developing intrigue and awkward reunions. The mysterious woman, now fully revealed, confronts Lin Mo with a nervous question. Her unease amidst the backdrop of the hospital group's presence hints at an underlying tension and a possible connection to the events that transpired. Lin Mo, with a determined gaze, retorts with a sharp question of his own. His challenging tone implies he expects a more substantive response than mere nervousness, and he's not about to let her off the hook easily. The nervous woman explains that she couldn't save him because she doesn't have a ghost contract. She further asserts that he voluntarily gave up his accommodation rights to her, establishing her boundaries and reasons for inaction. Lin Mo, furious, confronts the woman, accusing her of breaking her promise to beg for help. He further points out that she would have been the one to face the chainsaw ghost if not for Wu Kuan's sacrifice. The intensity of his words highlights his anger and distrust. The woman, utterly outraged and perhaps a bit terrified, shrieks in fury. This outburst coincides with another system notification for Lin Mo, suggesting she's reacting to his accusations or perhaps the underlying situation he's implying. Lin Mo, clearly done with the woman's excuses, declares she's on her own for the upcoming assessment. His statement signifies his refusal to help her further and his complete withdrawal of support. You love to see it. A new character dressed in a distinctive blue robe calls out to the students. This implies an announcement or a warning possibly related to the upcoming assessment or a new threat. The timing is certainly impeccable. A terrifying, monstrous entity has captured the woman, wrapping her in thorny vines. Her terrified scream echoes as she struggles against the creature's unyielding grip, signaling a dire turn of events. Looks like she really is on her own. A close-up shot of feet indicates urgent movement, possibly running or a hasty retreat. The focus on the footwear suggests a character is in a hurry, perhaps fleeing from the danger implied in the previous scene. Lily and the boy react with shock and fear, exclaiming their disbelief. Their horrified expressions suggest they are witnessing a dramatic and unexpected transformation or event concerning the woman from the previous scene. It's not looking good. The man in the suit, looking disoriented and panicked, questions the ghost's whereabouts. His bewildered state and the spectral overlay of his own face suggest a disassociation or a terrifying realization about the current situation. The woman's body is seen mid-transformation, her head detached and floating eerily above. Her clothing seems to distort, and unsettling sounds fill the air as the supernatural event unfolds before the horrified onlookers. Yikes! As the man in the suit is overcome by a dark spectral force, his disembodied head screams a final desperate warning for Shao Qian to get out. It seems to be his last act before his complete demise or transformation. The man in the suit screams his warning again as his spectral form overtakes him. His desperate plea suggests a grave danger, perhaps the final moments before he's completely gone. Repetition really drives the point home. A character reflects with a grim expression on Shao Qian's excessive selfishness, concluding that her greed made her unworthy of sympathy. This reveals a harsh, but perhaps fair assessment of her ultimate and tragic fate. Lily, unfazed by the grim news, confidently declares she has blood pupils that can detect multiple ghosts. She reveals this new ability with a stoic expression, suggesting she can now track or sense the presence of spectral entities. Lin Mo, taking charge, reassures the group that there's no need to fight to the death. His confident declaration suggests he believes they can handle the situation without extreme measures, a classic case of protagonist overconfidence. Lily's eyes glow with an intense blue light as her special blood pupils ability activates. Her expression shifts to one of urgent realization, indicating she has detected something significant, and it's probably not good news. A spectral skeletal hand clutches tightly onto a human arm, pulling it into darkness. The number 13 appears possibly a name or a label for the entity as the victim struggles against this unseen and very grabby force. Luze, wide-eyed and confused, questions how Lin Mo discovered the unseen ghost. He's clearly perplexed by Lin Mo's ability to detect the presence of the invisible and hidden entity of feet that should be impossible. With a sense of urgency, someone exclaims to the group to follow Lin Mo, speculating that his blood pupils allow him to see what others can't. The group begins to pursue him, motivated by his unique detection abilities. Luze, visibly frustrated, exclaims that they discovered the blood pupil ghost first, but Lin Mo took advantage of it. His outburst reveals his annoyance that Lin Mo seemingly stole the credit or opportunity related to the ghost. His frustration boils over into stunned disbelief as he questions why the ghost is still chasing them. It seems the reality of the situation is too much for Liu Zhe to handle. The audacity is simply off the charts. Lin Mo startled questions aloud how his pursuers caught up so quickly. He looks back in disbelief, seeing the group closing in on him much faster than he expected, their determination evident in their relentless pace. A man sweating and looking panicked explains the chaotic pursuit. An invisible ghost is chasing the three who are chasing him, which means the ghost is basically chasing him. He's caught in a desperate supernatural chain reaction. Lin Mo, gritting his teeth in frustration, exclaims his annoyance at the troublesome situation. Sweat beads on his brow as he resolves to find a way to shake off his pursuers the chase, proving more taxing than he anticipated. Lin Mo, facing off against a terrifying shadowy ghoul with glowing red eyes, declares with fierce determination his desire to kill it. His courage is palpable as he prepares to confront the menacing entity directly. As the menacing ghoul looms, someone asks Lin Mo if he has a grudge against it. In a surprisingly petty revelation, he explains his motive. It stole his food, turning a potentially epic battle into a culinary dispute. The spectral ghoul unleashes a powerful shadowy attack, its terrifying nature emphasized by the surrounding energy. Lin Mo braces himself, realizing he needs to increase the speed of his strike if he hopes to survive this encounter. Lin Mo, with a determined yet slightly manipulative glint in his eyes, realizes he needs to help the food-stealing ghost kill the invisible ghost to gain its complete submission. He sees an opportunity to gain leverage by assisting his foe. With a sudden burst of speed, a leg in a dark suit shoe slams down, creating a powerful impact. The motion is swift and decisive, suggesting a swift kick or a forceful landing during the intense chase. Lin Mo, now holding a glowing sword with a fierce look, offers his assistance. He's ready to unleash his power, seemingly to fulfill his earlier strategic thought of gaining the other ghost's submission through a calculated act of violence. The group, looking slightly dazed and catching their breath, questions if they've finally shaken off the ghost. Their expressions suggest a mix of relief and uncertainty, hoping the immediate danger has passed for now. Lin Mo, looking weary but sharp, questions someone who has been running relentlessly. His words carry a hint of sarcasm and concern, observing the frantic pace of the chase and its potential physical toll on his companions. The blonde-haired man, looking hopeful and slightly desperate, appeals to Lin Mo. He's proposing a deal relying on Lin Mo's ghost-seeing abilities to guide them to safety in exchange for great rewards upon their escape. Lin Mo, with a confident smirk and a steely gaze, declares his intention to simply kill the invisible ghost and be done with it. He's made up his mind, ready to end the threat and move on the challenge, clearly not intimidating him. One person warns that the invisible ghost is a fierce-level evil spirit, a threat even for teachers. Meanwhile, another with ulterior motives suggests keeping their distance, noting that if Lin Mo dies, it clears the way for someone else to be the MVP. A lone figure outlined in faint light descends from above with a powerful, glowing sword. Below, another figure lies prone on the ground, the scene emphasizing a dramatic confrontation or significant fall from grace. A monstrous spectral entity with glowing green eyes and swirling tendrils looms over Lin Mo. The terrifying apparition, possibly the invisible ghost, is now clearly visible and menacing, setting the stage for a dire confrontation. A close-up reveals a large stylized eye glowing with an intense blue light. A sharp beam of light emanates from it, cutting across the face, suggesting a powerful attack or a sudden dramatic revelation is imminent. A screen displaying numerous out notifications indicates the grim results of the Tomb-Keeping Academy's exam. A voice announces the complete failure of all 7 students in the bewildering forest, confirming the dire outcome for that group. A distraught man announces that 4 students are severely injured and 3 have died. Nearby, a woman states the situation is the same on her end, painting a grim picture of the exam's devastating consequences and widespread failure. Continuing the grim report, one speaker laments that nearly all students withdrew out of fear, with one even ending up in a mental hospital. Another adds that this tough situation jeopardizes their ability to train competent ghost wardens. The distressed man from the previous scene continues, his voice filled with worry about their inability to handle big challenges. He then turns to the woman, urgently asking Amin for a status update on her end. Amin, looking determined and concerned, states firmly that she still has 4 students left. Her words suggest a mix of lingering hope and a heavy sense of responsibility for the remaining students in this perilous situation. The man reacting to Amin's news exclaims his relief. He then adds with concern that one young man, likely Lin Mo, who was supposed to pass smoothly, is now trying to confront a fierce ghost head-on. A classic overachiever. The speakers voice their doubts about Lin Mo's chances, questioning how an ordinary student can match a fierce ghost in a battle royale meant for evasion. They believe his control is inadequate, deeming it a typical case of overconfidence. Amin, her expression a mix of awe and dismay, comments on the rarity of such courage among students. She questions how many would dare to challenge fierce-level ghosts, then adds with regret that such a talent is a waste. A fierce, multi-eyed ghost lunges forward with glowing green energy amidst a blur of intense light. A large red character meaning die or kill hovers ominously above, signifying the imminent and deadly danger. A close-up on an eye burning with intense red light conveys a chilling arrival. The words blood, eye appear, signaling a dangerous and perhaps supernatural presence is now upon them. The situation has just gotten much worse. The fierce ghost, now clearly visible and monstrous, unleashes a powerful blast of green energy. Lin Mo is caught in the immediate vicinity, appearing to be struck by the devastating force of the attack. That's gotta hurt. Lin Mo, his face contorted in a grimace of pain and surprise, gasps at the speed of the attack. His eyes, now glowing a fierce red, betray the immense pressure and velocity of the assault he's facing. Lin Mo dodges a flurry of ghostly appendages, his sword a blur as he attempts to fend off the spectral onslaught. The sheer speed and number of attacks are proving to be overwhelming, putting him squarely on the defensive. Lin Mo's eyes widen in terror as a monstrous green appendage lunges towards him. A guttural cry escapes his lips, capturing the raw fear of facing imminent danger as the ghost closes in for the kill. The group of onlookers, including Amin and Lily, express their distress. They cry out that Lin Mo is in trouble, lamenting his decision to underestimate the fierce ghosts and reflecting their worry and disapproval of his reckless actions. A man's eyes peer through his fingers, revealing a mixture of anxiety and dread. Sweat beads on his brow, betraying his internal struggle as he witnesses the unfolding and likely gruesome events from a safe, but not so emotionally safe distance. A man's face is contorted in disbelief as he exclaims that Lin Mo is not dead. The revelation that he's alive amidst the chaos brings a surge of unexpected relief, mixed with utter bewilderment at his impossible survival. The group's expressions shift from fear to astonishment and relief. Amin clenches her fists with determination, while the others react with open mouths and wide eyes to the unbelievable turn of events. They can't believe their eyes. In a blur of purple and green energy, Lin Mo unleashes a powerful attack, yelling a command to stop his foe. He moves with incredible speed, targeting the fierce ghost with what appears to be a decisive blow. A man, his face a mask of disbelief, points and questions how Lin Mo could have summoned another contract ghost given his supposed limit. He ponders if the contract limit can even be increased, questioning the established rules of their world. Luze, eyes wide and mouth agape, exclaims his realization. He's piecing together how Lin Mo could have exceeded his contract limit by contracting a remnant ghost, revealing a new, alarming possibility about how their powers work. Luze, a smug grin, now replacing his shock, declares his relief that his own contract limit is still higher than Lin Mo's. He then boasts about his superior capacity, revealing a touch of arrogant relief in his newfound knowledge. In a shocking reveal, Lin Mo smirks, his gaze focused on a glowing red 3 tattooed on his wrist. The sinister aura surrounding him suggests his true power, and his true contract limit is far greater than anyone imagined. Beneath a furious vortex of blue energy, Lin Mo summons a monstrous hulking entity. The summoned ghost, with its glowing red eyes and mask-like face, unleashes a terrifying aura of raw power, dwarfing any of his previous companions. A hail of ghostly arrows emanating from an unseen source streaks across the panel. The purple characters Forero explode around the projectiles, signaling a rapid and deadly volley of attacks from one of his new summons. The monstrous summoned entity with its multiple eyes and grotesque tongue lets out a guttural growl, its name or nature tied to skeletons. The surrounding green aura intensifies, amplifying its terrifying and frankly disgusting presence. Lin Mo, with a determined glint in his eye, points forward and shouts the command to charge. A powerful red character appears beside him, amplifying the command and sending his new minions into the fray. It's on. A chaotic clash ensues as sounds of impact erupt around the figures. The scene is a blur of motion and energy, depicting a fierce and rapid exchange of blows between the newly summoned ghosts and their unseen enemies.